Well, hey guys, welcome back to the cabin. I do have to be honest with you. It hasn't been a whole lot take place this week. Today is actually Christmas Day. It's 72 degrees out here. I don't even really need this on. I'd put it on this morning when I went over to Jennifer's house for breakfast and just left it on, but just walking around out here, I took the dogs to the creek a while ago. It feels like it needs to come off. 72 degrees on Christmas Day. But anyway, I was reflecting back and thinking over this past year, and doesn't really seem like I've done a lot, but then when I look at it from a different perspective, I've actually done quite a bit. I've had some help up here on the weekends a lot of times, but for the most part it's been me by myself. But still, even with a minimal amount of help, looking back across this past year, it was this time last year that I actually started putting the siding on the cabin. I don't know if you remember, but I had just got done, if I remember correctly, putting the OSB down on the floor joist. The house was still wrapped in plastic, and I began framing this first section right here, putting up the siding. And I think I filmed that for like 7 or 8 weeks, of doing the siding. Never thought it was going to end, but it finally did. And then it seemed like, let's see, what was next? What came after the siding? Oh, then the raised beds. So then I started working on, I already had one in place, I started working on the other two. Got those dug in, set, and then the next thing was I had a subscriber who actually came up here and helped me. We set the posts for the outside so that I could put that deer fencing up there, and let's see, and then we put the door on, and then I planted the garden. Of course, I've got to pull the weeds before spring gets here for the next garden. But that will go along with, I'm not so sure that I'll get the hugelkultur planted this year because, well, I don't know, we'll just have to see. I've still got about 3 months, but anyway, it will be this and the hugelkultur mounds that will be the garden for next year, or just this if I don't get to that. But at any rate, we've got some plans ahead for gardening on how we're going to grow things up here at the Outpost. Let's see. Then I believe right after that I started on the chicken house. And I actually got that idea, it was inspired by a picture that I had seen on the internet of a wonky type building, and so I decided to build it, only build it a little bit larger, not quite the same design but really close to it. Build it larger so that I could have room for chickens and turkeys. I could actually walk in, have room for them to roost, and have a place, for them to lay eggs, which, by the way, I did get 3 eggs right after I got that last group of chickens at this time of the year that actually kind of stopped laying. But I think my solar light has quit working, because I haven't seen it on recently, so I'm going to have to purchase maybe one that's a little bit more expensive. Don't quite think that the shadowing of some of those trees up there is actually allowing it to get like a full charge, but it should get something, and I just don't see it operating at all, so I think something's happened to it. But at any rate, we managed to get the foundation, get this built, got the metal on, and got the cage built that for most of the predators around here it's sufficient. Doesn't allow anything to enter, it doesn't allow them to escape. Now if I had chicks or something like that, I'd have to have chicken wire on the bottom, but so far haven't had any varmints been able to get in that, like I say, would be native here around this area that I know of, that I grew up with. Now there may be I've heard some people say that we do have like ferrets and things like that, but I've never seen one, not around here. But that doesn't mean that they don't exist. There may be a few, but we're not overpopulated with them. The next thing would be a fox, which can't get through that hole. Possum or coon could if they were very, very small, but that gap's only 2 inches wide, so there's not many varmints that are native that I know of, that I grew up with around here, that could actually get in that hole. So I have felt, at peace with the way that I built it, and they have seemed to, enjoy it, and like I said, not really had any problems with any varmints trying to get into it, except the 2 dogs trying to get to the food that I throw to them. But anyway, I hear around here, the tourist area, they have those 4-wheel machines. I don't know what, they're not side by sides, but tourists come and rent them, and the road way down the way there, this is kind of an area for them to travel the back mountains, for them to basically sightsee. And every once in a while I'll catch a group of them coming up the road, and the sound from the engines echoes through the valley, and it'll find its way up here. But anyway, yeah, I started on this, and then I think the next thing that I did is I went back to work on the cabin. Well, before I leave the top of the hill up here, I do think that it's worth mentioning that the kitchen was actually built the year before that, but what we did do is we did add this up here, which was a really nice added feature, because it gave you a place to put spices and knives and odds and ends and stuff like that up here. But that was an addition that we actually did to the kitchen this past year, just to make it more comfortable up here cooking, basically for the cook actually. Yeah, but then we added this table when I actually got the new one for the cabin. I brought this wooden table out here, a lot nicer and a lot sturdier than that metal one that I had here. The metal one, I'm going to use it out in the woods there to make a seating arrangement, for spring, summer, and fall. And that metal will do a lot better out from underneath the roof than this one would do. So that's the reason that I put this one here. But this was another addition to the kitchen this year. Well, then I came in the cabin and I actually started framing on the inside walls after I got that done. Got the wiring actually put in those. Then we started hanging sheetrock, started with the closet, worked my way around, kind of finished off my bedroom first. Was able to get all of the sheetrock placed. Along with that, I worked on the paneling on the bottom, got all that placed about the same time. Then I actually came back and started trimming a lot of that out, not only with that slab wood, but with the store-bought wood around the windows and the doors. Then I think it was we started putting the drywall on the ceiling, got all of that put in, finally managed to get all the trim put up on the ceiling, got it all painted. Had to rewire some things. I say rewire, add wiring, because I decided to change that bedroom up there to an entertainment room. So I made provisions for a wall-mounted television, and I figured that that room would be, kind of like a viewing room for the SMO videos. I kind of like to see what it's going to look like when you all watch it, either on your computer screen or the television, because I doubt there's hardly any people that watch it on a phone, unless you're a younger person. Because I would much rather fire up a system that is much larger than a 3-inch screen to be able to watch a movie, if you're like me. But anyway, I got all that done, and let's see, we got the flooring. Jennifer and I, we worked really hard on the flooring during the Christmas break. You'll see that coming up in a new video. And there wasn't a whole lot, just like that on the bigger projects. You film some things that may be 2, 3, 4, maybe even a half a dozen times, because that's what you're doing. Since I turn out 2 videos a week, it is not possible to start a task and basically accomplish it If it's a large project, it has to be taped. Since this is basically live, it has to be taped, you know, over a series or over a period of time. So the floor did take us several days to work on. I've still got some to do to finish it up, but for the most part, the bulk of it is done. And then clearing that property, I think, was one of the next things that we started working on after we kind of picked up and left from the cabin a little bit. Of course, I've kind of been back and forth on the cabin, you know, working on the bad days, coming inside, and then on the nicer days, even if it was cold, if the sun was shining, you know, I would work outside. I know that this may be hard to see, but the kids actually went together and decided to get me a big screen TV to hang up above this nice mantle shelf that I built, where I've already got the 2 shelves filled with my DVDs. And I actually got the my son-in-law actually came up here Christmas Eve and helped me to install this on the wall. So now I have a way to view the videos that I put on my hard drive. Since it's a smart TV, I can just basically plug into the side of it with a HDMI cord or with my USB and watch the videos that I make and save on my hard drives. But also, once I get satellite out here, I'll be able to, other than my DVDs, I'll be able to view basically television like a lot of you do, maybe on a big screen like this or something. But I have run a couple of DVDs through it, and I'll tell you what, the picture quality, this is an LG 65-inch. The picture quality is really nice, so I'm happy with it. The kids did a good job, so they're always trying to figure out a way to please me, which they don't have to do anything. I raised both of them. They please me very well in their mannerisms, their character, and the way that they go about living their life. So I'm very proud of both of them. But anyway, let's step outside where we have been doing some work, clearing the property for the new buildings. I think it was around the 1st of November, might have been maybe the middle of November, that I actually started working on clearing this property, because we decided to add a new sawmill building along with a kiln, basically slash storage area, more of a storage area than a kiln. I will put the wood stove in there to kind of, you know, heat the place up to help dry the lumber out. But as soon as I take it off the sawmill, I'll be able to stack it, stick it, and it can start drying without the sun, you know, hitting it and warping it and anything like that. So it will be a place that, you know, we can stack lumber in the dry and dry it, and I will actually have access to stuff that's cut and actually ready to go. So we're also going to have to probably fix up a system to rotate, you know, whatever we pull off and whatever we mill up that's new and green, we can actually replace that. But anyway, what we may do is just do every other shelf that way. So and then rotate back and forth off those shelves, or date them. You know, that's another thing we could do, is take a Marks a lot and date the side of it. But it took, you know, quite a little bit to actually get this cleared. I went through and cleared out all the underbrush first. That way, when I fell a tree, it was easy for me to get to the top. I didn't have to try to step over and stumble through material, you know, that's growing up in the woods, which, you know, you do 99 times out of 100. You know, when you cut something down, it's hard to get to a lot of the limbs because of all the undergrowth. So I decided to cut that first and then leave the trees standing that actually had to basically fall, like these right here. And it was a whole lot easier to get to the tops, whack them up, and just pile them up. So, but I think I'm going to have more debris than what I need for the hugelkultur mounds that I'm going to start with. So I'm probably going to pull the chipper or the shredder back out again and start shredding some more, especially this really green material, and chipping it, putting it down before I actually put, you know, a lot of topsoil and stuff like that in this coming year to do some landscaping. This year ought to change the looks a whole lot, I'm hoping, by getting a hold of topsoil, you know, getting some grass started, some shrubs, maybe a little bit of fencing, you know, here and there and stuff like that should, of course, it's not like I don't have anything to do with 3 new buildings going on, but, you know, we've always got big plans around here. Like Jennifer says, you know, if you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly, right? So that's definitely the motto that we go by up here. Just bite it off and chew it, you know. So, but I still have a few trees left to cut. Like I said, I hadn't had a whole lot happen here. I have been busy, have been working a little bit, but not at my normal pace. But still, you know, we're trying to be responsible to you guys and get the videos out there so that you can watch them and that you can, you know, rely on us to be steady with videos that are coming out. Of course, the links may change, you know, but as far as, you know, having the video there and it being ready to go, you know, we feel very lucky and very fortunate that you guys have been so kind and so generous to us over the past year to have supported both of our channels. You know, I think the other channel now is about a year old that we started, the review channel, this channel right here, but you know, it's done okay, and we really do thank you guys, and our main channel too, Smoky Mountain Outpost. We really do feel very lucky to have you guys as a subscriber base, and every time we turn a video out, you know, all of the views that we get on it. So hopefully 2022, hopefully we can double, you know. Be sure to tell all your family, friends, people about the channel, because we're excited about the new milestone giveaways. You know, we get excited every month doing the monthly giveaways, but we have those new milestone giveaways. Now I'll tell you what, sending those 2 chainsaws out was the best feeling that anyone could have, to just give something away like that, because, you know, you guys have helped us out so much, like I said, in supporting our channel, and that was the reason that we came up with that idea too, because we're always trying to figure out, you know, how can we do better for you guys. Even with me, it's a struggle on, you know, what do I video that the people are going to want to watch, you know. So I have my everyday life here, which is kind of basically what the channel is about, but I also try to mix it up, you know, and come up with projects that would entertain you guys, things that we need, you know, that I may stop my priority, you know, for a little bit to do something like that. But still, you know, all in all, we have done very well thanks to you guys as far as the channel goes. So we just want to, you know, extend from our heart, you know, the warmest thank you and appreciation for you guys taking the time out of your life to view our channel. So we can't, you know, I say that every video, but we can't thank you enough, because if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have a channel. But that was partly what inspired these 3 new buildings too, because you all seem to like watching the building, and, you know, we had needed a place to store the lumber because it's just been sitting outside here. I need a place to house all the tools because I'm collecting so many, and then I need a place to park the tractor. So that's kind of what inspired the 3 new buildings, was the fact that we need them, and the fact that you guys like watching the major projects. So anyway, yeah, we got this about ready to go. You know, the dozer should have already been here. He's probably got hung up on one of the jobs, so I'll have to try to call him this week. But, you know, I've just got just a few small trees to cut, not a big deal. And we're ready for him to get this kind of, there'll still be a slope to it because of the steepness of it, but once he shifts dirt from right here, puts it down there, it will make it a whole lot more level. I think what we're going to do is we're going to dig and set a footer on the upper side, which will be the base for the front, and then the rest of it will be built basically on stilts. So I'll have to tap or drill holes, or dig holes, I should say. That's what I mean by tap holes. Set some posts in there for the foundation. But I'm thinking that the front of them will be, you know, on basically a footer. So I can do it a lot cheaper with building the frame up with wood than I can pouring the cement. So, but since it won't have to be a really big footer on the front end, I think I'll go ahead and do that, because that's going to help aid me in the foundation for the sawmill, so that you know, if a log happens to basically fall a short distance, it doesn't offset, you know, by it hitting the frame, it doesn't offset or put the frame of the sawmill out of level. But anyway, again, guys, my son, my daughter, and I, we really appreciate you guys stopping by and visiting with us up here at the Outpost. I'll save the questions for the next video. Like I said, this is Christmas Day. I have to upload videos tomorrow, but since, you know, Jennifer and I spent some time working on the flooring this week and spent some time with family, I didn't, you know, accomplish a whole lot, so we will reserve, like I said, the questions for next week. I'll get this video edited, I'll get it out to you. But again, thank you so much from the bottom of our heart for all the support that you give us, not only on this channel, but our main channel, Smoky Mountain Outpost. We can't thank you enough. Guys, we hope that you had the merriest of Christmas, and we hope that you have the best upcoming gang-busting, block-busting new year, because I think everyone in the world is due one, especially over the narrative that has been pushed over the last couple of years. You know, everybody needs a breather. So anyway, guys, we want to wish you, like I said, the happiest of New Year. Everyone have a great afternoon. You all take care, and we look forward to seeing you back up here at the cabin again next time.